That works, Stan.
Good morning, everyone. Can we take our seats? Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Visalia. We're all having good conversations this morning, which is wonderful. We have some goodies in the back I'll tell you about later. So as we're all finding our seats, I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Nan to do our invocation.
I want to make sure that my audio is working. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be with you again this morning. So this is a time when, if everyone is seated, it's a time when we get to turn within and just bless this time together. So as we come together, I know that we come together in that infinite presence of love, that one, whether we call it Spirit, God, Allah, Buddha, all that is, the thing itself, as Dr. Holmes said. I know that we are one in that infinite loving presence, that infinite divine wisdom and intelligence, that one mind. And so I bless this time together. I know that it is a divine appointment in the mind of God. That's time has come. And we are together. We are one. And I know that this is good and very, very good. And together we may say, in gratitude, and so it is. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our wonderful band for our opening music. So take it away.
We should start every day this way. So feel free to sing along if you'd like. I start my day with love. Wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. Gonna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. Wanna start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. Gonna start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release.
Thank you very much. That was gorgeous. One of a song we know well. Yay. Welcome, everybody, to Center for Spiritual Living Visalia. I'm Donna Orozco, one of our board members, and we have a good crowd here today. Most of you were here for our SOM chat this morning, so we're doing really well with that. I don't see anybody new. Nope. We're all regular times. Maybe we have some new people out in cyberspace. I hope so. What? Oh, that's right. Gwen, your sister? Yes, we've seen her before, but welcome. That's right. It's a name that's spelled not the way I want to spell it, right? Yes. What is it? Ernestine, yes. But she spells it differently. She had wonderful things in our Christmas boutique that maybe some of you bought. I know I bought a few of them. They were great. So welcome again. Let's go to our announcements. So I just wanted to tell you we have a brand new art show. We had an amazing first Friday on Friday night with all the people from the Source and the Trans Center. And some of them were fun. Some of the art is just crazy fun. Some of the art, you can see it talks about their experiences. So I hope you'll all take time to go and look at it, especially read the ones who have some long explanations of what their experience is. And we sold a bunch of art last night, too, Friday night, too. So if you want to buy any, you're always welcome to do that. We get a little percentage of the what it's bought for, and then, of course, the artist gets most of it. So, great art show. One more reminder: we were gonna give donations to the Source Friday night. I totally forgot. So we still have a collection here, and yeah, I saw that some other people brought more in. So we're trying to collect hygiene items for the Source. The Source, who takes in these people and helps these people. You could tell Friday night some of these people don't have money, don't have homes, don't have lots of things. And so we're trying to help them a little bit and get them hygiene. So we'll collect them right here on the side. Well, we'll announce this one more time, and then we'll figure you know that it's happening. So we no longer have meditation in the morning because it wasn't very well attended. But our new SOM chat, Science of Mind chat, we had 14 people again today. Actually, we had 15 because Reverend Donna, if you read the newsletter, you know about Reverend Donna, who's going to be coming in on occasion now, and probably Reverend Ann will tell you a little more about her. She popped in from her car down in Santa Barbara, wherever she is, getting ready to go to her church. Oh, Huntington Beach, thank you very much. So it's a wonderful thing. We start with just a little talk, a little idea. We discuss it. We go home and work on it. And the next Sunday we come back and say, Reverend Ann says, okay, how did you use it this week? And today we had some wonderful uses of it and how it's working in their life. And then we get another saying that we use for the next week. So you're welcome to come 9:45 to 10:45 every Sunday morning in our little cooler conference room next door. What did I say? All right. 9:45 to 10:15, and then we start church at Center at 10:30. Okay, our baby contest. So I want Steve and Gwen to bring their contestants up, please. Let's go to the camera. So this is Coco. And Coco made some wonderful treats for us today that you'll want to buy to go towards her winning this prize. And Gigi is a little rambunctious, but she's trying to come up here. Oh, this is Gigi. Gigi, you've met many times before. She goes all over the place. So these are two of our contestants. Thank you very much, people. Let's go back to that slide we had, Stan. So you see Gigi and Coco up there, and we have three others. Maria brought goodies today, and she has they're all dogs. This is supposed to be a baby contest. We have no so Gwen's idea was, what, 20, 30 years ago you did this when all everybody in your congregation had little kids. So it was a baby contest. Well, at our place, we all have animals. So we have 6 dogs, and we're waiting for one more to come in. You can still join. So the contest goes from July to August. Our first fundraiser is today. You have fundraisers to raise money for your contestant, and the one who raises the most money by the end of August is our mascot for the year. So think about it. It's great fun. All you have to do is send me a picture and the name and the breed, if it's a dog. If it's a child, great. If grandchild, that's fine. We keep hearing about a turkey that could be entered, but we haven't seen it yet. So next slide. So today we have our kickoff fundraiser. Only 2 people brought goodies, but we've sold some of them already. So we have 2 items, Coco and Parker. Maria's Parker. We have delicious food in there that you can buy for minimal cost. The food goes in the little buckets right here next to their slides, and then we'll hopeless. The money goes towards that contestant. And so we're waiting for other people to start telling us what the other fundraisers are so we can announce them in coming weeks. Okay, so remember there's food out there to buy after service. And this was in the newsletter, and I think we have things in the back. This is something that the home office is doing. It's a virtual get-together in September. And this is where you can sign up. It's $39 until August 1st, before August 1st. Sounds like a great thing. It's going to be speakers, music, one-on-one. I guess they'll have chats, conversations. And it's just a way to get together with other people of a like mind in the Science of Mind community. So pick up the flyers if they're there, and you can check out if you want to sign up. And I think... oh, that's the last one. So we'll give it over to Reverend Nan, and she may want to talk more about that last the home office thing we're doing. Thank you.
Lots of announcements today. Well, first of all, I have a special wish for a special girl out there, our own Dawn, who's been singing with her mama. Happy birthday, Dawn. I know that you just turned 18 and life is just getting revved up for you, girls. So very, very happy birthday to you. Now, about Reverend Donna Baranier, you got a little sneak preview of her for those of you who are at Science of Mind chat. I couldn't be happier because Reverend Donna is a staff minister at CSL Huntington Beach. And you may recall Reverend Patty Mercado, who's the senior minister there, came up and was part of the installation process for us last year. So Reverend Donna is so excited because she's going to fill in for me when I take some days off. I'm going to take the last 2 Sundays in July off, and she will likely be coming in on Zoom for the first few times that she is with us. After that, we're going to be arranging times on the months when she can come up and actually be there in the center. And she really, really wants to do that. Um, her plans for July were already a little bit confirmed with Huntington Beach, so we kind of have to work around that. But she's all signed up for filling in for me. You're gonna love her. She's just wonderful, and she just can't wait to be bringing some live energy to the place up there. She's gonna do some workshops. I think she'll be facilitating some classes online for us. Because the classes go, our certificated classes go for a number of weeks, it's not likely that they'll be in person, but she may do one. I don't know. We're going to work it out. And I know one thing for sure, it's divinely inspired and divinely guided, and it's just fabulous. I feel really happy with her helping us out in this way. She's a wonderful being. You'll love her. So now it's time for our inclusivity quote. And by the way, my Hoku is in the baby contest too, and I can't be there to sell baked goods, but you can go on and donate for him anyway if you think he's cute, and I'm his sponsor. So I'm not saying you have to just because I'm the senior minister, but I'm just saying you could do what you feel that you're inspired in your heart to do. And you can support more than one of these little friends of ours. So it's all in fun. It's all to create some extra money for the center and have a little mascot. And I think we've got some really good um, candidates there with the picture I've seen. And there is no competition between humans and critters, because it'll be whoever the sponsor is that makes the most money is the mascot. So there you go. Now we're on to our inclusivity section. And this is something we do every week, and we have a quote from our team. The Inclusivity and Diversity team meets on Mondays at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can get to it through our website, and you're more than welcome to join us on any Monday. This week's quote was selected by Bonnie Carlia, one of our longtime team members, and it's a quote from Marianne Williamson, and it says, "The spiritual journey is the unlearning of fear and prejudices and the acceptance of love back in our hearts. Love is the essential reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning of life." So if you've been looking for the meaning of life all these years, there you've got it. It's all about love. And in fact, as we move along to our affirmation for today, I believe they'll put that up on the screen so that we can share that. Our affirmation today says, "I wake up to the truth of spirit that I am." Now, let's just say that together, because I know you're out there. I know you can see it. And now, let's do this. I wake up to the truth of spirit that I am. And that applies to each and every one of us, So say that, take that with you, and know that this is the truth of you. And now it's my week, so I get to do the opening prayer for our service here, and then we'll have a little bit more music. So if you'll just join me and just take a soft focus on anything, wherever you may be. I welcome everybody in our virtual community so that you may join us also, and to be able to just be together in the divine presence of that one infinite loving spirit. It doesn't matter what we call it. And I recognize that there is only one presence. I recognize it as that which I call God, Spirit, Universe, Great Spirit, the thing itself. There is only that one. I know that I have been created and made manifest through and as that one. I know that this is true for me, and so it must be true for all people, because each of us, all creation, is a manifestation on the physical plane of that infinite divine love. And as we wake up to the truth of spirit that we are, I speak this word for every person here beyond the sound of my voice, for anyone who listens to this later, whenever that may occur. I speak a blessing of oneness, of wholeness, of knowing that truth that spirit is exactly what each of us, all creation is. It is that one love existing in, through, and as each of us. And I bless each person. I bless each person with love, with joy, with peace, and with the ease and grace of that divine spirit illuminating every path so that the awakening and the evolution of wholeness may be recognized by all. And in so doing, we co-create a world that works for all. And for this and so much more, I give great, great thanks. And I let this word be. I let it be right in the law of mind that always says, yes, my beloveds, yes. And together we can affirm it by saying, and so it is. And now it's time for some more music. And our wonderful band, we've got Kevin today on the piano. We've got Phil on the bass guitar. We got Joey Hernandez on the drums, and also Hope and Dawn singing. So this song, I know you all know, and I know those words are going to be up on the big screen. You'll be able to sing along. So I want to be able to hear those voices all the way out here in Florida. So get on it now. Take it away, folks.
We all know this one. It's a good one. Sing together. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. That's the song that I hear to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. That's the song that I hear to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. One more time. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Happy birthday, dear Dawn. Happy birthday to you. She's 18. She's out of here.
All right. So this was really good. I could hear you all singing all the way out here in Florida. What a wonderful way to begin this message that I'm going to share with you. Well, good morning and happy Sunday. And it's so nice to be with everyone today, whether you're in the sanctuary or out in our virtual community. You know, we're in our second week of our new monthly theme, Speaking Truth to Circumstance. And just as an aside, when Reverend Donna fills in, she's going to be using the same monthly themes, and she's going to be enjoying the music that we decide on together for the service, and it's going to be just a wonderful thing. So now back to the theme. Circumstances are what we often consider to be unchangeable conditions that we've accepted from media and cultural conditioning. The greater truth to be known is that we're asleep and waiting to awaken to our authentic divine nature. So my message title today is Wake Up, Little Susie. Now, you might remember that old song, and if it was way before your time, the story in it is about a fella and his girlfriend who went to the movies. I just realized I didn't have my little microphone up here. Well, dadgummit. Here we go. It's about a fellow and his girlfriend who went to the movies and fell asleep. And the lyrics go, "Wake up, little Susie, wake up. We've both been sound asleep. The movie's over. It's 4 o'clock and we're in trouble deep." And then the lyrics go on about what they're going to tell her mom and dad since they'd promised to be home by 10. And then the very last line of the song is, "Well, it seems like we goofed again." It was a very popular song when I was very, very young, of course. And metaphorically, it applies to all of us who are consciously asleep and still goofed up in this myth of separation and isolation. Just like the kids in the song, we've fallen asleep in the movies or stories of our lives for a very, very long time. And we've become complacent in believing that this is how life is and forgotten who we really are. In our misunderstandings of ourselves and others, we may have taken the path of least resistance instead of living authentically. Or as John Lennon said, living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. Living and being authentic is really about waking up. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Matrix movies series. This main character, Neo, is born into a pre-existing dream or a collective agreement about life. And all through the movie series, he moves in and out of the dream and into an awakening pattern of a shifted reality. It was kind of confusing, but I finally figured out a little bit enough so that I knew that what was real and what wasn't real was really not real anyway. But I'm sure you can figure that out. We're kind of like Neo. But the faulty premise in our dream story is founded on a deep belief in separation. Separation from our source, whatever we may call it, God, Spirit, Allah, Buddha, whatever we'd like to call it. Not only separation from our source, but from ourselves, from each other, and from the planet. And this perceived separation then grows seeds of labeling and judging, like good and bad, right or wrong, us and them, all and any of which breed fear. And fear breeds contempt and the desire for control and power struggle. Now, those then bring with them to this crazy dream party blame, shame, and guilt, greed, poverty, anger, hate, oppression, and persecution. And so goes our perpetuation of the myth of separation from our good, our source. You know, our founder, Ernest Holmes, writes in the Science and Mind text on page 487, the belief in a life apart from good is a dream from which we must awake, if we are to taste the waters of reality, which flow from the source of life. This awakening is a process of evolution, a little here and a little there, until the whole eye is opened and we see that life is neither separate from God nor different from good. Life is God, and good is the only power there is or can be. To awaken oneself is to be healed, made prosperous, happy and satisfied, to be made every whit whole, to be complete as we were intended to be. You know, our foundational principle of oneness and the spiritual practices we engage in to establish ourselves in a greater knowing of this principle support us in awakening from that dream. But it sure can be challenging. Our personal evolution calls for great compassion for ourselves and others. Ernest Holmes' original statement of what we believe from the 1927 Science of Mind magazine reminds us we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Now, this is a great thing to keep in mind as we wade into the crazy house of human life, our own included, and awaken to our divine nature. In our philosophy, we recognize that life is a mirror. So the first thing to do is not wrestle with the mirror, but change the source of the reflection. To be clear, that's each of us as individuals. As I've often said, connection with source and expansion of consciousness is an inside job. The next great awakening is that we're not even getting a clear picture in the mirror. We're looking through our filters of all the stories we've been told, any or all of which can definitely cloud our view or completely turn it upside down. Now, in her book, What's in the Way is the Way, Mary O'Malley uses the analogy of our storyteller. She writes, we all have a built-in storyteller, and this storyteller is constantly operating to comment on our life. We experience life through this storyteller, and it is speaking from all its conditioning, or as Don Miguel Ruiz calls it, its domestication. He calls our conditioning our domestication. Interesting term. Storytelling is woven into our genetic fabric. The human species told stories to carry on the history of life as it evolved. Originally, there was only oral tradition, and the storytellers were the historians of tribes, cultures, and civilizations. Well, maybe before that, there were cave drawings and petroglyphs that documented the stories of life in those days. But there were still storytellers, and they carried those stories. And the way stories are told now are so widely varied because of all the technological advances of media, it's hard to know what stories are real with all the conflicting information we get from various sources. But the stories that our personal storyteller recounts to us are a distillation of everything we have been told and now believe about ourselves and others in our world that continue to reinforce our separation and otherness. Those are the stories to which we really want our attention to go to chip away at the false sense of separation. Our personal evolution begins when we begin to entertain the idea of and then actually experience the reality of oneness. You know, Albert Einstein, such an amazing enlightened being, said, "A person experiences life as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. Our task must be to free ourselves from this self-imposed prison and through compassion to find the reality of oneness." You know, before we can change the world out there, we need to understand our inner world. That old pre-Socratic adage of know thyself remains really good advice even today. When we know ourselves better, we can then try to understand what that world out there really is. That's an overwhelming thought in itself. And watching the news every day is enough to keep us cloistered in a tunnel of inertia. But here's today's important supportive thought. Get ready. We all came to this life to experience it and find our way back to source, which is love, and each other, which is the unified field of love. I'm going to say that again. We all came to this life to experience it and find our way back to source, which is love, and each other, which is the unified field of love. When we encounter people, circumstances, and organizations that upset us, it's important to step back and recognize that below the surface appearances, we are one. And we all want the same thing, love. Now, we may have very different ways of trying to get it, but that's what we all want. And this is because the infinite presence is love, and we are simply wanting to be aligned with it, no matter how distorted our method is. And at the core of us, most of us, are two myths: the belief that we are separate from life and that life is not safe. And out of that, we adopt two methods of operation: trying to control life and trying to do it right. Now, when inevitably life can't be controlled, we make several assumptions. And those include: we're not doing it right enough, therefore we're wrong, unlovable, and all alone. All completely false. Okay? If we can understand that all dysfunctional behavior is built on this foundation, we can begin to support ourselves and others in unraveling the foundation and its false belief structures. We no longer look at people performing dysfunctional behaviors as wrong or evil, the labels our judgmental ego wants to apply. Instead, we can see people like ourselves doing their best to live and love. Now, in the case of serious harm and wrongdoing, we can see individuals so far into the deep sleep of separation that within themselves, they unconsciously believe and feel they have lost all connection with Source and others. As Evan Hodkins notes, it isn't a matter of good and evil, it's a matter of being asleep or awake. And that's a quote from his book, School of Alchemy. Very interesting book. It's one thing to know this intellectually, and it's another to actually take steps to reveal our storyteller, listen to it and the old stories it tells, and then take action to release those that reinforce separation. Knowledge can begin to pop open our closed mental prisons, but knowing, or ultimately integration, allows us to walk our talk. And we're so fortunate in our philosophy that we have spiritual practices to support us in opening to our evolution and our conscious growth. There are two practices to support us in this opening. The first, among many, but the two that I like, the first is meditation. Real deep meditation quiets the mind enough to let the storyteller, the domestication voice, to recede so that we can hear our true self. We get the monkey mind chatter out of the way, in other words. Now, this isn't an overnight process. Sometimes we get impatient, and that's another genetic mutation we've acquired along the eons, by the way. Yet as we commit to spiritual practices and dedicate time to them, we do progress. And sometimes that's not easy because that little resident ego storyteller doesn't want to give up its ground. Why, it's built a condominium, maybe even a hotel complex with parking garages and storage units, all filled with old collective consciousness stories and false beliefs. So we begin slowly, with just a moment or two in the course of an hour where we look out a window, walk outside to get a breath of fresh air, or just look at the sky and feel a fleeting sense of peace and joy as we expand our awareness of all that is, all that we are one with. And then we begin to take a few more minutes every day to practice contemplative meditation, reading a thought from uplifting writings. Now, our Science of Mind magazine is great for that because it has daily guides. You can get it as a paper copy, or you can get it digitally. You can carry it around with you everywhere on your cell phone if you do the digital. It gives us a channel changer in the midst of routine activities. In time, as we use these tools, we begin making dates with Spirit within to be in the peace, in the expansion of life and light, to be in the love of our personal relationship with our Source. And over time, the quietness comes and glimpses of the light of reality show through and become bigger and more frequent until that sensation of separation is completely dissipated. The second process is compassionate listening. Now that means listening to our inner storyteller from a place of objective curiosity, not the desire to be right or to punish it or to discredit it. No, instead, we're listening from our heart, not our position. Listening with wonder, not the need to win an argument or prove someone or something wrong. You know, we all get hooked from time to time. And listening to ourselves helps us to see where the real hook lies. As A Course in Miracle reminds us, I am never upset for the reason I think I am. That's something to think about this week, too. As we create a habit of compassionate listening to ourselves, we find it easier to extend this practice to others. As we begin to consider the true nature of our oneness, we learn to choose the experiences and the relationships that are life affirming. We release the old stories and beliefs as we create new ones that nurture and fortify our embodiment of oneness and living in the now rather than the shadows of those old stories. You know, that dear being, Thich Nhat Hanh, offered this perspective. What a sweet being he was. He said, when you're around a group of people, although you want to be yourself, you are consuming their ways. The way we make decisions, our likes and dislikes, depend on the collective way of seeing things. You may not see something as beautiful, but if many people think it's beautiful, then slowly you may come to accept it as beautiful also, because the individual consciousness is made up of the collective consciousnesses. That's why selecting the people and experiences you're around is very important. It's important to surround yourself with people who have loving kindness, understanding, and compassion, because day and night we are influenced by the collective consciousness. And he goes on to say, to live in the present moment is a miracle. The miracle is not to walk on water. The miracle is to walk on the green earth in the present moment, to appreciate the peace and the beauty that are available now. We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. How beautiful. We could actually sing that song that we sang right before. We could teach ourselves to sing that song of peace, of love. As we become aware that we've been living with our eyes closed and misunderstanding everything we see, we begin to see that the most important task of our life is to wake up. We can't truly deal with our own issues until we cut through the fog of false separation that surrounds us. Only then can we begin to consider world issues, which means we stop relating to the world from an us versus them perspective, and begin to see that we are all living inside a centuries-old dream state. We can begin to relate to each other differently, more compassionately. When we understand the core desire we all have to be loved and to love, as well as the old core beliefs that run most of us and influence all of us, we can take a different approach to healing the world within and around us. You know, it's so much easier to attack out there with our belief in self-rightness until we have to step back and begin to awaken to the truth that there's no out there. Instead, we learn to turn within to ground ourselves in the truth of our own and others' being, which is our divine spark, that eternal essence of perfect love dwelling within. And the more often we bring that to the forefront, remembering we are all connected in, through, and by love, then we can act in love and realize wholeness through our oneness with Spirit. As Dr. Holmes said, we're on the pathway of an everlasting and ever-expanding evolution, but it could be much more rapid if we would only surrender the whole idea of separation and isolation. This week, I invite each of us to wake up and know that we can fly free and live in the reality of oneness, first within ourselves and then collectively. Because, as I always say, love prevails, and that's what I call living the real dream. And so it is. And now, Now, if you'll just take a moment, let's take a moment and cap that message with a prayer, just reaffirming that one infinite love. So if you'll join me for just a moment, let's just be in that love. Let's just be that love. Let's just be in the freedom of that one love, in the joy, in the presence of the divine, knowing that all is well with our souls and every soul, everywhere, throughout all creation, that we are one, that we live in the universal harmony of life, and that that universal harmony of life flows through us to the extent that we open, are aware, and allow ourselves to receive it and to continue communing with it. To grow that divine spark is the divine idea for each and every being. And so now I just affirm, I claim for each person that peace, that love, that joy, that is the truth of being. I declare it to be so. And I know that every creation is fully supported in, through, and by the love of the one from which all creation, each one of us, emanated. And so we are infinitely woven into that web of the unified field of love. I speak this word of awakening. I know that it is so. And as I give great thanks in my heart, I speak wholeness, joy, and peace. I let it be right in that law of mind that's already said, yes, my beloveds, yes, where it's already done. And so it is. And now we got some more music coming for you, and then I'll be right back.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. Oh, see, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes the silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. See, I believe I can soar. through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Yeah, 'cause I believe in you, yeah. Ooh, yeah. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly if I just spread my wings. I can fly. 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 Said I can fly. I believe it. I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly. Fly, fly, fly.
Oh, that was just so wonderful. I believe all of you can fly, truthfully. We just haven't figured out that we can, so we don't. But I think that flying in freedom in our hearts is one of the biggest places where we can start. So now it's time for our conscious giving affirmation. I know that we're going to get that up on the screen so we can share that. Meantime, you can take your gift in your hand. And as we come together, you can make your donation online. If you're in our virtual community, you can send it to our website address that's on the slide that's on the screen, 117 South Locust Street, Visalia, California, 93291. All of the gifts are such a blessing. So let's take our gifts, bring them up to our hearts, and let's share this conscious giving affirmation loud and proud. I see clearly all the abundance that is mine to share with love. Again, I see clearly all the abundance that is mine to share with love. What a beautiful thought. Now, as we have our ushers collect those gifts, I'm so very grateful for all the gifts that keep our center going. It's such a blessing. Such a blessing it is. You know, we live in the divine flow of abundance. That never changes. It's how we open to receive and how we learn to give back and let go. That divine flow continues to move in through and as this center, and it is a blessing to the world. So, I'm not exactly sure. I think that by now we probably have the gifts, and I'd like to do the blessing. So, I know that these gifts come from the love of pure spirit, that they do good work in our center. They do good work in the world, in our community, everywhere. And I bless them. I bless them with great love. I receive them for this center on behalf of it with great joy, knowing that as these gifts are given, they are returned 100-fold or more to the giver. And so, it's with great joy I say, I let it be. And now it's time for, yep, it's time for our peace song. So this is when you all get to get up and get around here. And you should have those words on the screen there pretty soon as you all get around in a circle down there. If you're new, you know this is how we do it. If you want to hold hands, you can. You don't have to. Everybody just needs to be comfortable and safe and at home. Everyone is always welcome at Center for Spiritual Living Visalia. It's the place that we come together to be in peace, in joy, and in love. So now, if everybody's all settled, we need to get the words up on the screen so that you can sing along.
Now there is peace on earth. I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
All righty. Now we get to do the benediction. Are you all ready? All right, so you know how this goes. If you want to join me in saying this, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Now, life is in my mind, and life is in my body, and it's in the body of my affairs. And I think it, and I feel it. And oh, how I love it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. And together we can say, thank you, life. All right, everybody. That's wonderful. Have a fabulous day. I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat station. And don't forget to come on out for the Science of Mind chat. You can also get there on Zoom if you're out of town or anywhere you may be. 9:45 to 10:15. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll see you next time.
my.